we need to make some copies of the agenda. Welcome, everybody, I appreciate it. We've got a brand new Board of Selectmen. John Locke. This is John Perrier, and I'm Tony Frasnelli, the first selectman. I'd like to actually begin the meeting by reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, if we could. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda is we need to approve the minutes from the last meeting, which was November 12, 2015.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes for Thursday, November 12, 2015.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Having none. Vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 2, appointments. We've got a fair amount, and we can go over each one. We could take them on the whole, or just read the names, whatever you guys feel comfortable with. Either way for me is fine.
I would like to at least read the names and make a motion to present them as a whole, if that's okay. So for Recreation Commission, Kevin D. Roy. Conservation Commission, Paul Pearson. Zoning Board of Appeals, Anthony Gardiani. The filling an unexpired elected term was Ron Houle II. We'll be stepping down from that. Michael Kennardine of the Safety Committee. Economic Development Commission, Dan Burnett Pollock, if that's right. Community and Civic Affairs, Alyssa Hughes. Local Traffic Authority, Richard Zulik, and just recently added Audra Smith, who was added to the EDC, I believe.
Yeah, Andra Smith.
Andra.
It made it look like that,
Oh,
but I really confused it with, there was an Audra Smith in town. Unless we just put her on there and she didn't know about it. That would not be a good first meeting. So it's Andra Smith.
Andra Smith, thank you.
You have a motion, is that, John?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to present that as a whole, or take it as, have all of them sworn in at once, or not sworn in, but accepted at once.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
No further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
And well, I'd like to make a motion to appoint First Selectman Frasnelli as the ADA Compliance Coordinator, Affirmative Action Officer, and Fair Housing Officer.
Is there a second?
Yes, there's a second.
Discussion, basically it's just updating, my name is the new first selectman to the documents and the responsibilities that the previous first selectman had. That's really what that's about. No further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
Can we skip back one? We did do the sub-registrars
Oh, we gotta do the,
Where was that?
for the appointments.
The
This
sub-register?
one right here.
This one, John.
yes, I'm so sorry. Right, that one, ready.
Right. So, how would we go back to that? Do we just?
Reopen.
Motion to
Okay.
do them.
So, going back to the appointments, as far as, this looks like pursuant to Connecticut General Statute 7-65, that's to accommodate the town of Stafford, we'd like to appoint the following sub-registers of vital statistics to serve with your approval for the following term. And sub-registers are authorized to issue removal, transit, and burial permits, and cremation permits for any death that occurs in town during the hours in which the office of the Register of Vital Statistics is closed. And those people are Joseph R. Intervene, Joseph R. Intervene Jr., Michael J. Intervene, Sean M. Stevens, and Charles A. Palumba. And I would like to make a motion that we approve
Is there a second?
people for appointment.
I will second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
All right,
Next item is, adopt the authorizing resolution between the town and the state of Connecticut, Division of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection.
Did we do the fair housing?
right,
Did-
yeah, we didn't do that one yet.
Where did that?
That's right.
It's right before
It's
that
like,
one.
it's like item 4A or 4B.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
kind of
it's
blended
the
in
same
with
thing,
4,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's,
Beth? Fair Housing Officer and approved civil rights compliance documents.
so I would like to make a motion to adopt the fair housing policy resolution and affirmative action policy.
Is there a second?
Second? Yes, there is a second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. And so that took care of that. Next item, again, adopt authorizing resolution between the town of Stafford and the state of Connecticut, Division of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection.
Well, I would like to make a motion to approve the authorizing resolution between the town of Stafford and state of Connecticut Division of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection.
Is there a second?
Yes, 1 second. I just want to make sure I will second.
John, you wanna read? I wanna read
Is
this.
this it?
Okay, Johnny, that's the whole thing, here's the piece.
Okay.
Is
And it's the
that-
further resolved as well, Beth, correct?
Yeah, I can read it if you want.
Yeah, well, why don't you do it?
Yeah, let's let Beth read it. She's bored over there.
Resolved that Anthony Frasnelli, as first selectman of the town of Stafford, is authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all documents on behalf of the town of Stafford to do and perform all acts and things which he deems to be necessary or appropriate to carry out the terms of such document, including but not limited to executing and delivering all agreements and documents contemplated by such documents.
Basically, you can sign the
Thank goodness
contract.
you read it, holy cow. There was a motion, is there a second? Johnny, did you second?
I did second, but yes, I do second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Next item on the agenda, Arts in Place authorizing resolution. Somebody wanna make a motion? I have a, John? This is one of yours.
So, yeah.
You want me to read it?
Sure.
Motion to authorize First Selectman Frassinelli to execute and deliver in the name of and on behalf of this municipality a certain contract with the State of Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development for the Arts in Place grant for the Stafford Arts Commission in the amount of $257.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next item, as we fly along. Setting the 2016 Board of Selectmen calendar of meetings. There's an attached, we're not gonna read those. unless you-
No, I was just going to ask if the board would be open to the months of June, July, and August to meet on a different day other than a Thursday for the summer months only.
Yeah, let's see, I don't know exactly, but I don't think it's gonna be a problem, John. Foresee a problem?
No, should be,
We gotta
Could
coordinate,
be
but
Monday,
we'll get that
Tuesday,
done,
or
yeah,
Wednesday.
we'll get that done ASAP to make sure it's on, it's out there for you folks. So it helps us be able to be there, all three of us, and we'll make that known, by the middle of next week for sure. Fair enough? Other than that,
So-
we want to, move to accept the rest of it? Is it June, Angela, again?
Why don't we
June,
just
July,
wait and
August.
do that?
Yeah, we'll wait.
Wait,
We'll do
what-
a new one and.
Okay.
Yeah, we can set,
Why don't we
we
do
can
that?
set the January ones now, right? Couldn't we do that? So
January, February,
that's the
March.
next,
Yeah, let's do let's do January, just so we don't have to call special meetings in January.
Okay, January is
Okay.
currently 14th and 28th. Motion to accept January?
I will make a motion to accept January 14th and January 28th, 2016.
I need a second.
No further discussion, then all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
So we'll accept January and then we'll revisit the rest of the calendar, just so we have that, we'll get that done by next week.
Sure.
Good.
Works for me.
Where's part of the agenda, which is public comment. We want to make sure to open that to anybody who has questions or comments they'd like to address to any of the selectmen, ask questions in general. Generally speaking, no action will be taken tonight on those things, but we certainly will take into consideration all that you want to discuss, whatever that may be.
I'm just confused.
Oh, I'm sorry, can you state your name and
Oh.
your address? I think that's-
Roger Ingram, Highland Terrace.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay. I was just curious what item 5 was about. It's something, some resolution between the town and the state. But what does that entail? What is that authorizing to happen?
I would defer to Beth, since she's the only one who's here
It's
before.
a Homeland Security grant, it's usually in the amount of $4,000, it's a blanket resolution that just stays on file with the state so that every year he can sign for the grant.
Really? Okay. It doesn't have anything to do with emergency.
It's an emergency management grant, so it's money we get as a grant for Homeland Security items.
Oh, it's for purchases.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Dave,
David Walsh, 21 Grand Avenue. I just want to thank all three of you for reinstituting the public comment section. I think it's tremendously important, especially in local government, that people have an opportunity to be able to state their views on things. There's never a justification for discontinuing public comment in the town. And I think it was outrageous that 2 of the last 3 administrations did that. So I want to thank you for giving people the chance to speak for 2 reasons. One is every decision would be better if more people have input, because you're going to get to share from the knowledge of the whole group. And secondly, it reminds the people who are elected in positions of power that their power really comes from the electorate, and that they have to respond to people, at least to answer their questions. So I think this is a tremendous step forward. Thank you very much.
what we appreciate, thank you. Anyone else? Sir?
Mark Richens, 48 Greaves Road West.
Yes.
First, I want to congratulate all 3 of you on your new position.
Thank you, Mark.
I like to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, because obviously your success is going to be indicative of the town's success. I was unable to make the special meeting you had the other afternoon.
Yeah.
But I understand that part of it was an executive session,
Mhm.
and that the selectmen eliminated some position or positions within the town.
No, this was, is that Monday? Monday's meeting? No, in fact, the entire, it's true, one small portion was executive. No position was eliminated. That's incorrect.
Okay.
Two
Because
contracts were approved, that's the basis of what happened in that meeting.
Right, there's something specific that you're referring to.
well, I can only go on what information I can get, living out in the west end of town, but I understood that the position was eliminated from the highway department.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with that meeting from Monday.
Okay. But there was a position eliminated from the highway department.
That in fact is true.
Could you identify which one?
Yeah, superintendent position in the highway department was eliminated.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm a big advocate, and have been, especially even with Stafford, for some type of a personnel or HR review, because it's good to do by department. I question on some of the decisions being made this quick after you folks have taken office, especially in light of some of the other positions that are considerable expense that seem to still exist. I mean, you're in the winter season by all considerations of the Department of Transportation, and you eliminate a superintendent from the highway department, and we still have a police lieutenant that can supervise nothing. we still have a full-time recreation director, full-time, fire marshal, and a lot of other positions. And I mean, I don't fault you for reviewing positions, but I think it was probably done a little bit hastily.
Okay, I'm sorry, is there a question, or?
I know, I don't know if John was involved in that, but I don't think I was involved in that.
No.
I would remember that.
Yeah, it didn't go to the board, and, it's true, one position was involved, and the superintendent job was eliminated. Other than that, I understand, your points, I do, I appreciate it.
Well, I'm just trying to prevent from happening what's happened many times in the past. And I don't know that this was, and that's why I'm bringing it up, because I would hate to see any kind of vindictive political type of position elimination.
Sure.
I'd rather see it made on the basis of an actual review. And if you are gonna eliminate it, whoever's affected, I would hope you would give some degree of notice to. Because I would certainly think you would expect it if they were gonna vacate it.
Right, there's been an agreement that that employee has been offered and has accepted another position.
Okay.
So the position was eliminated, but the employee continues to be employed by the town.
Okay.
Anybody else? I'm sorry, was that it?
Well,
Yeah.
I was just kinda
Okay.
curious, was there a specific reason to eliminate that position? I didn't,
Well, I had discussions with, the Director of Public Works and, regarding the DPW, and what their needs are, and the other needs regarding the position that was open in the town. And, after gathering all the data and having these conversations in detail with other folks, in fact, regarding how the department works and the needs for the town, in that office, I determined that it made more sense for this person to, work in other positions, which he accepted, and eliminate superintendent. Anybody else?
well,
Okay.
are we done with that?
No,
We're done with that yet?
you can ask me another.
I'm just a little curious, we
Yeah.
reviewed, contracts,
Right,
but, we didn't review, discuss that, which seems to me was a little more serious than just the review of contracts, so I'm just curious.
oh yeah, I understand what you're saying. Did I?
I mean, it's not that, we probably can't make a decision on
Right.
that, it's probably not something that we can, but, we have talked, you were pretty clear that we're gonna do open
Mhm, absolutely right,
government here. And,
right. Yeah, this was again, that's why I brought it up to,
I have to agree with Mark,
Superintendent?
the reason I'm bringing it up is,
Mhm.
When did it happen?
That was on, December, what was the date?
well, I see Mark's point, I mean, we've been in office under a month.
Yep.
And if it was not this week, it must have been last week, so that puts us in office under, maybe 2 weeks with Thanksgiving in the middle, which reduces it even
Yep.
more.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm a little concerned that I'd be curious what you based it on. It was a position that was recently created that we felt should be eliminated, or?
Yeah, the facts of that position is that went unfilled for a number of months, and they performed, and took care of those functions within the department already. And there was historical data that showed that they could perform their function in its entirety without that position. Always fiscally responsible to the town of things that we can do, things we can save, and the need for the other position to be filled, because we didn't have anybody in the office that happens to be in the zoning enforcement office. We didn't have another alternative to actually handle things. We're in the Department of Public Works, we've got other individuals that could perform functions and continue to take care of stuff.
Okay, so
The other one was suffering, and we were at a liability technically because the town didn't have another person to be able to approve or handle zoning issues. So I felt the need, which is why the employee was offered that position. Because he's a very good employee, very loyal to the town, good worker, by all accounts, and there were letters in his file that basically said this is a terrific person. I agreed fully 100%. I wanted to be able to offer him something.
I'm sorry, Tony.
Yeah.
So essentially, there were two positions, and you shifted one, and now we're saving the town money. Is that what's happening?
Eliminated one, right, and they took over an empty position, which I felt we needed to fill.
Well, that makes sense.
Okay. Did he suffer a loss in pay?
Is it a different pay? It's different pay for a different position. It is a different position. One was a union position, and the other one's a non-union position.
I only, and people here probably, a lot of you don't know me, but, you know, I'm a blue collar kind of guy.
Yep.
So I started working when I was 18 years old, and I've been through 35 years of reorgs and layoffs and modifications, so I've become very sensitive to issues where an employee, especially like you just said, he's a very good employee.
Yep.
May have been forced into a position that, and I don't know, maybe he didn't want, and he, you know, was happier at this other position. He probably paid more since it's a union position. In my experience over the years, resource actions or layoffs or position eliminations are a short-term fix, and I hear what you're saying, John, we might have saved a little money, but have long-term effects that are very negative. They produce, and I've been through it, so I know, and I've never been laid off, but I've watched other people, and you go through, the people around you,
Right.
when you're laid off, go through relief that it's not them, then anger, why them, especially when they're a good employee. Then they figure if they're a good employee, why should I work hard, you know, so now you lose productivity because of what they see going on around them. So I always, or for the most part, if it's not for cause, would err on the side of the employee, especially when they're a good one. So I you know, and when we went through the contract stuff, I was the same way. Good employees, I believe, should be rewarded, and
Right, I think
I don't,
the-
it's
right.
concerning to me, that's just who I am.
No,
That's
I
the way
understand,
feel,
yeah,
and I wanted people here to hear that.
Sure.
Um,
I can appreciate that. I've worked in the unions 15 years myself, very familiar. Understand fully what you're saying. Looking at the broad town job functions and things that have to be done, and the importance of some positions over others. That was my focus. That's why I offered this exemplary employee the position. It wasn't a demotion. I don't know his thoughts regarding that, except that I wanted to make sure he understood clearly. We're not looking for you to leave at all. We want to keep you on. We're able to offer you another position. While the other one, from my conversations with the Director of Public Works and others, that at this point, this is what makes sense. Should that change down the road, I also explained to him clearly, the setup of that highway department may in fact change, so it may in fact bring that position back. They used to run that department without a director, and the structure was different 4 or 5 years ago. It was different again 10 years ago. So again, we're in a learning curve. The question is there a time set where you can make decisions? You have to give it a certain amount of time when you see things that make sense, and you've had discussions in detail about those decisions, and they're prudent, and they make sense, and you're not just getting rid of employees. I would perfectly agree, which is not what we did.
Mr. President, I only
Sure.
brought that up because, like I said, I fully support doing an HR review
Yeah.
throughout the entire town employment system. Matter of fact, I think the Board of Ed ought to do the same.
Fair enough, yeah.
And, you know, I hope that you'll approach it in a thorough and cautious manner, and hopefully as much as possible, I realize you're the chief executive officer of the town, involve the entire board so you get a good cross-section of perspective. And you can gain a lot of efficiency and probably save the town a lot of money and maybe even get the productivity higher.
Right.
But the manner in which it's done, you can actually turn productive employees into attitude employees, which is very dangerous.
Right.
And I know this only because I had to do a lot of that with a lot of different types of units, different types of workers, and different types of maintenance units at the airport.
Right, no, I appreciate that, and the good thing is that I have actually that experience, so I'm well versed on what you're talking about, which is terrific. I appreciate it.
Because, I mean, I've known, well, actually, I probably knew John's father, but I know John, but, you know, I value his opinion. I don't know Mr. Perrier very well, but, you know, I'm sure if he's been elected to that position, he should be given the opportunity to, use whatever skills he has.
Sure,
Thank you.
thank you, I appreciate it.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you, John.
Yep. Thanks, Mark, for bringing that up.
Anyone else? Question? No? Old business? That, we don't have it, huh? Do we have any new business? That is a no. So, I need a motion to adjourn. Someone wanna
Make a
that?
motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Never seen that motion fail, not ever.